Hey folks, this is Dr. Kat Schreier from Water Citizen. And if you have a water startup that is scaling, growing, hiring, if you are expanding your team and you're looking for great people to join your team, this video is going to tell you how you can do that at Fed to Tech H2O in Washington, D.C. We're also accepting virtual presentations from startups that are hiring. So this is going to show you exactly how to do that at Fed to Tech H2O. Let me share my slides really quickly. And of course, if you are an advisor, investor working with a startup, please make sure that they get this information before we get started next Monday, September 8th, 5 to 8 p.m. Eastern Time at the Reservoir Center for Water Solutions. That's the nonprofit event center and co-working space created by Xylem in Washington, D.C. And we are making it available now for those startups. If you're hiring now or intend to hire within the next, say, 6 to 12 months, please do come join us. So let's get started. So by the way, if you are not familiar with Water Citizen, we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We offer programs and events for people passionate about water, but in particular for water startups, all stages, and the broader community around that, the investors, funders, clients, entrepreneur support programs, incubators, accelerators, etc. Really taking a startup-centric approach, so it's not little startups on the side, and really kind of on the human side of water. That's the citizen part. So leadership development, community support, really trying to give startup founders a leg up. And so we have created this Fed to Tech H2O event, and we'll see whether we want to continue this as an ongoing initiative. If you have not been living under a rock for the last several months, you probably are aware of the fact that there has been a number of federal agencies, federal programs, federal grant funding that has been reduced, reductions in force, cuts in funding, and that is resulting in quite a lot of water-related personnel entering the workforce, right? So we have created this event to provide them an opportunity to explore the opportunities in water entrepreneurship, including working for a growing or scaling water startup like yours for your next career move. So, and again, I mentioned this is going to be at the Reservoir Center for Water Solutions. And so, just the flow of the event, there's this foyer where people are going to be registering. They go upstairs. There's this gorgeous, cafe and reception area. We go down the hall into the meeting room, which has this very large screen up front that makes it possible for us to have remote speakers. We are not going to have, this is not a webinar, we are not going to have remote attendees. So the people in the room are the people who seriously want to be there. But you are going to have an opportunity to present and to see the audience and, look into ways that we can have you interact with the audience for the discussion. So, okay, so it is free to attend and free to present, in person preferred, although we are allowing virtual reverse pitches. And just to run the show, run a show. We're going to try to get people set up between 4:30 and 5 Eastern time, while all these are Eastern time, while people are registering and coming in and mingling and networking at 4:30. We start right at 5 o'clock with an intro. And, if you are remote, we would definitely like you to be there kind of in the background and listen in, hear how we're framing this for former feds. Many of them did not expect to be in this situation. We're not talking about the political appointees that, kind of knew that they were going to be getting a new job. A lot of these folks have, their experience has been in the federal space. Anyway, so right after that, right up front, we are going to have a full hour available for these reverse pitches. So basically, you as the employer are going to be reverse pitching to the potential applicants on what you have available. We're then going to take a break, and we have some food that we're going to have, and refreshments and networking, and then people will either go sit one-on-one in a corner and chat with someone that they've met there, or they go into one of the side rooms for some breakout sessions. Either they'll look for how to work for a startup and strategies and resume development and interview strategies, how to create their own water startups, how to join an incubator, what's accelerators, what's available, right? And then how to and how to find a co-founder or advisor. By the way, this might also be of interest to you. There are a number of people who very senior people who took the early retirement buyout packages, right? But they still want to contribute in some way. And so, we've heard from a number of folks who said that they want to be advisors or they might be a co-founder. So that is an opportunity as well. And then final wrap and departure. So, by the way, we've pulled together some really great people to help us put this, with this program. Patty Simonton's been a sort of community leader for several accelerators, Bethesda Green, Mentor Capital Network. She's now founding the Big Table Institute. Michael O'Brien, Seol is an Irish word for seed. So, seed stage venture capital. Isabel Nguyen has been with TEDCO, has been with numerous organizations throughout the country. And she's got a new company called Aurelius. Scott Christensen, Chesapeake Bay Seed Capital Fund. Sean Gregoire is got Capstone Tech, which gives real-time feedback on interviews. He's also going to go through the resume and how do you approach a startup. Just the fact that startups are so different from, if these are federal employees that are used to going through a very long process, startups can hire faster. Startups are more nimble. And it's more of a joining a team, right? And then of course you got Kimberly Nelson is going to be one of the startups pitching with a company called True Elements. She used to be the assistant administrator for EPA, chief information officer. A lot of great stuff that they're doing there with data. So how to do this? This is very important. So if you can, if it's someone on your team who does the initial sign up, make sure that we have your slides and everything, just to get on the Zoom call. As soon as we can open that up, we'll get you on there. And do try to stay for the opening. We try to discourage at our events, whether it's in person or virtual. We try to discourage the pitch and run where they just show up, say their bit, and they leave. This is about creating community, right? Usually, if you're going to do a virtual pitch, it's good to appear on camera, as I just did on this video, have people see you and connect with you, and then go to your slides. Otherwise, you're just this little square in the corner. Let's see. Introduce yourself and your company. So, your basic one-liner XYZ statement, elevator pitch, whatever, maybe a couple of photos of your work so people get an idea of what it is you do. Why are you hiring now? Is there a new investment? Did you just have a new product launch? Now you've got more orders than you can handle, or did you have a new go-to-market strategy and you need people to sell so you can get those orders? You have a new contract, whatever it is, right? And, again, is this for now, or are you just got a new partnership with a larger organization and you're expecting to get new work coming in within the next few months? So what are you looking for now in terms of your current positions, right? So what kinds of people you're looking for, field techs, engineers, etc. It could be HR, it could be communications. I want you to think about that in terms of, there's also going to be people there who worked with water programs in HR, in data management, in communications, in whatever, right? And then what do you look for in terms of, a fit for your team, your culture? Why join your team? Really sell to your potential employees here, what's so cool about your company and working for your company. what is the next step? Is there a website for people to go to apply? Should they, are you open to having people set up a one-on-one call with you, or do you want to have an info session separately later or something along those lines? And then, if you can stick around, please do for, we want to have some conversation with the audience. For a lot of people, it's going to be, first of all, they didn't expect to be in this position, right? And secondly, just the idea of how do you work for a startup that for those of you who are hiring, you've got some resources from somewhere, right? You've got some funding, you've got some contract or something so that you can add to your team. Or you're planning to in the near future. And, they might have some general questions of what it's like, right? They might have some pictures of it all being, kids under 25 and all Silicon Valley or, whatever, how can you give them a little better understanding of what it's like to do, and that's going to be in the discussion. So keep your initial pitch in that 5-minute time frame. And if anyone has an immediate question, clarification or something, we can have that. But we'll try to do all of the different startups who are joining us, and then open it up to some discussion with the audience, and get a sense of who's going to be in the room. And I'll probably do some kind of introduction during those first 30 minutes, depending on how many people we have, or have people raise their hands based on what agencies or what their situation is, right? So yes. And then, of course, if you are interested in doing this, please, please, please go to, if you're not watching on that page right now, go to watercitizen.org/fed2, TO, tech, H2, number 2, O, not 0, O, startup as one word. So singular startup, Fed2 Tech H2O startup. And then go on the button below and fill in the details. Let me know that you are interested in joining us at Fed to Tech. Obviously, it is coming up quick, so we would love to get you signed up as soon as possible so we can start promoting you and say, look, these are companies who are coming. These are amazing companies. We worked with so many companies through Water Pitch, over 100 so far, that, we know a lot of you are getting the funding, are getting that chance to grow, and hope that you'll join us in helping to make sure that these amazing water professionals, whether they're engineers, scientists, lawyers, whatever, or field techs, lab techs, admin, whatever, if they want to be part of a great water startup like yours, we want to make that possible. So hopefully we'll see you on September 8th.